Hello all, Unique Impact back here again, and welcome to the finale of All for None 5. We are down to the final 3 on each team. They have beaten all the challenges, and it is now time to reveal who the traitors are and who has won the season. As a reminder, the Lime team contains Lolzy, Josh, and Penguin, and the Magenta team contains Game Show, Happy, and Aiglin. This is your final chance. If you want to think of any theories, if you want to watch any of the previous episodes, go and do that now, because beyond this point, there's no going back. And speaking of previous episodes, I'm going to put the entire playlist, not just the last episode this time, the entire playlist is now available there on that thing that appears in the top right, whatever that's called. Anyway, without further ado, let's go. Now, I'm sure you all want to know what the results are, but before we move on to the reveal, first let's look at the audience responses to the surveys throughout the series. After episode 1, the most suspicious person on Lime team seemed to be Josh. Penguin had the second highest number of votes, and Lolzy came in 4th behind Seadog. On the Magenta team, it seems as though the most people thought it was Billy, who is no longer in the game. Game Show had the second highest number of votes, and Happy came in 4th, behind Demo. After episode 2, things really shook up on the Lime team. Now the most suspected person is Lolzy, with Penguin, Seadog and Josh all tied in 2nd. Meanwhile, on Magenta team, Demo is now the biggest suspect. Happy has overtaken Game Show to be in 2nd place, and one person suspected Aiglin, keeping him in last. After episode 3, things are looking similar on the Lime team. Lolzy is still the most suspected player, with now more than 1/3 of the votes. Josh is in 2nd, and Penguin is in 3rd. On the Magenta team, however, things are looking very different. Happy is suddenly the most suspected player, with twice as many votes as Game Show, who is in 2nd. Aiglin still remains in last place with just 1 vote. After episode 4, Lolzy remains the most suspected player on Lime team. Aquatic was the 2nd most suspected, placing Josh in 3rd and Penguin in 4th. On the Magenta team, Happy seems to be by far the most suspected player, claiming over half of the votes. Game Show and Aiglin are now tying for 2nd. After episode 5, things have made a sudden change on Lime team, as now Penguin is the most suspected player. Lolzy is close behind in 2nd, and Josh is in 3rd. Meanwhile, on Magenta, Happy is still the most suspected player, but Game Show seems to be close behind. Aiglin still remains as the least suspected. Finally, after episode 6, we come to the final polls. On the Lime team, you guys seem to suspect Penguin the most, followed by Lolzy, and in last place, Josh. On the Magenta team, things have taken one final turn, as Game Show is now the most suspected player again, putting Happy in 2nd. Aiglin has remained the least suspected player out of the 3 since episode 1. Finally, just for fun, let's look at who you guys think will win the season. On the Lime team, it looks like you lot think that Lolzy will win. Penguin and Josh are trailing just behind. On the Magenta team, it seems as though most of you are expecting Aiglin to win. Hardly anyone, on the other hand, thinks that Game Show will win. Well then, these results are truly very interesting. Your final vote is that the Lime traitor is Penguin, and the magenta traitor is Game Show. The question is, are these predictions correct, or are they horribly wrong? On the Lime team, you guys initially suspected Josh, and then you switched to Lolzy, before finally settling on Penguin. On the magenta team, you guys initially suspected Game Show, and then you quickly switched over to Happy, before finally switching back over to Game Show near the end. Not once was Aeglin the most suspected player. Well, I've been talking for long enough now, and I'm sure you're anxious to see the final results. So, without any more hesitation, it is time for the final reveal. I hope you all enjoy it. So, we're finally here, the final reveal. I think we need some more moody lighting.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Now you're gonna get shot out of a cannon at night. That's even more epic.
Ooh,
It's like a
oh my God,
firework.
the night for me, I have this texture pack where the night's actually red. It's really
Good for
weird.
you.
Alright then.
Like I have the same
So-
brightness. it's just red.
This is how it's gonna work. This is a final life grab now. So for every time that anyone puts the traitor at the top of their list on any test throughout the entire show, whether they're still here or not, their team will gain 2 lives back now. Let's start with how many times this happens for magenta. Any guesses?
6?
Um,
Say 12 million.
Magenta, I'd say 32.
It happened
I'm
twice,
gonna say 6.
and it
Wow.
only happened
Wow.
twice.
Twice.
Really?
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Now, how many times do you think it happened for Light?
I don't have
10.
a clue.
I'd say
I'm
good-
gonna hope it's 0.
10.
I'm gonna say about 10.
It
Yeah.
happened 18 times.
Yes!
Wow.
So
Oh
they will
my
now gain
God.
back 36 lives.
Oh my god!
Wow.
No, wait!
Yeah.
Oh my god, that means
8.
I think I was correct.
What?
My theory.
So 18.
proves correct.
So one team did it 2 times, one team did it 18.
This means that Lime's target is 2, and Magenta's target is 4.
Wrong
Wait, that's
answer.
how many they got.
That's
What?
how many answers you can get wrong.
Okay.
Let's start with Magenta.
Yeah, magenta.
Okay, so I'm guessing each of us
So
go
you said
into
Magenta.
Magenta.
And the 3 of you go into a cannon. Alright, so we have got Aeglin in the left cannon,
Liar.
Happy in the middle cannon,
Liar.
and Game
I-
Show in the right cannon.
That's true.
The first thing I'm going to do is reveal that it was not a group win.
Oh, okay, so there's only one winner.
It's either a solo win or a traitor win.
Okay.
But which is it? Well, so then guys, the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to reveal the traitor. Please can the traitor say who they are?
Dude, I hate children so much. Why do I
Yes!
hate they exist?
Yes!
Was Happy.
What?
I knew it.
Happy
I knew
that
it. I knew it. I knew it.
That's so hard, but Game Show was doing his job for him.
Okay.
That was the
Can I-
plan! That was the plan!
Unique, may I explain something?
Yes.
My goal was to pretend to be the traitor so that people would vote me and go out before I did.
So I think the next most appropriate thing to do would be to reveal one loser.
Oh dear.
Greg
Oh,
Happy,
God.
Walker, please eliminate someone.
First person who is the first person that has been eliminated tonight.
Bye bye,
Is-
guys.
Oh god.
Oh no!
Scared, I
Oh, like an
Hey,
eagle!
bye, Egan.
There
You
we
played a
go.
good game, dude.
You're gonna sit.
Okay. So
Good luck, MJ.
this is the final
Played a good game.
deciding factor.
Yep.
Was it a solo win or a traitor win? So, Walker, if you would do the
Please.
honours of revealing
The second
the winner from Magenta.
tonight,
Come
and the
on.
winner.
Come on,
Game show.
please.
I think Game Show has one.
Game show, good game if you won, good game if you didn't.
Because Game Show knows
Yes! Yes! Oh my god!
I was
I
so
win!
close!
I win! Let me out here! Let me out!
I got it! I
Let me
got it!
out.
I got it!
Let me out!
Hung!
Heck yeah!
So close.
Oh,
So,
yes!
Oh
Game
my.
Show, you get the honours of watching the Limes elimination. now.
Redemption is mine!
This is gonna be quite interesting.
Alright then guys, alright then. So, this time we've got Josh in the left cannon, Penguin in the middle cannon, and Lolzy in the right cannon. Let's get started. Again, it was not a group win,
Oh no.
Oh my god.
which means it was either a traitor win or a solo win. So, I think the first thing that we should do here
is to reveal who the traitor is. Traitor, speak up.
Hello.
I knew it from the beginning. I knew it from the beginning. I knew it from the beginning.
Well, I guess it was
I
going to be
know.
Penguin.
Wow, looks like both traitors have been spotted.
Yeah.
Now, it's
I mean,
just a
I was-
question of, did you do well enough?
I
Well,
don't think so,
firstly,
but we'll find out.
Let's eliminate one of the other two, the one that didn't
Hang on a
win.
second.
Oh. Oh, good luck, Josh.
Okay.
Good
So,
luck,
Fuck
Lizzie.
both of you.
Good luck, Jordan.
third person that has been eliminated tonight, and the first person eliminated from the Lime team.
Please.
is-
Oh.
Whoa, we went flying.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Guys.
Oh my. Oh,
Hey,
I
guys.
just. Oh my god.
Lol,
my
it's
God.
between you and me.
Oh, I don't know.
Good
if I
job.
fucking
I
do
think
it.
how much?
Can only get 2 wrong.
Oh fuck.
Let's hope for the best.
If you got more than 2 wrong, you're out,
I lost. I don't see it possible.
and Penguin
Oh,
would win. However, if you only got 2 wrong or less, then you win. So,
Oh.
Walker,
I'm about to be
Let's go.
blasted.
No, I'm gonna get
No, it's gonna be
blasted.
me.
No.
No,
Look,
I-
it's gonna be. It's gonna
I'm
be the
excited.
right.
I'm excited
Final
for it.
person
It's gonna
that's
be
been
middle.
eliminated.
I'm ready.
Winner.
Oh.
Game.
Blast me. Blast me.
Mm.
I am so sad, because why can't a traitor ever win?
Yay!
Oh!
I got blasted! That's all
Oh
I've
my
ever wanted
God,
in this game.
Yes! The
Traitor
traitor's
ever
lost!
No.
Get out
Penguin,
here! Get out here!
Penguin,
Get out,
no.
Ozzy. Come on.
We
Oh my
tried.
God.
Happy,
so,
I thought this was gonna be our
Marty and
game.
Game Show.
Oh.
Oh, I feel
Oh
bad
my
for the
God.
traitors, but
I
I
don't.
spent 9 hours and 43
Hey, at
minutes.
least one of the traders did a good job.
Well, here, I posted my notes in the
Good
chat.
job.
If you want to see it.
but anyway, guys, how are you feeling? You've just
Amazing.
Wait,
Can you blast him?
Yeah.
Just blast him anyways. Blast him.
I mean, this is my first ever like AFN as well, so
Same.
that this
This
is
is my
really
first
good.
ever like win in a huge show.
Well, this isn't. Yeah, same. I'd say so.
Yeah, I mean,
I got third place again!
Hello, it is the third
Wait,
place.
I'm
shoot him
fine.
out. Shoot him out.
hold on a
Yeah.
second, hold on a second. Guys, you can both get into the diamond cannon.
get here. Let's do this.
Oh, can I get into one? They won.
I'm on my way up.
Wait, Walker, TP me up. I want to see this from.
We're just
Oh,
looking-
is everyone
why,
getting in here?
is,
Oh, this
why is everyone getting in the cannon?
Because we
Go
won.
on.
the border barrier. Let's do it. Let's
Sick
do it.
roof explosion.
I
It's
mean, I
gonna
hope
be a
you're,
dud.
Here we go.
it's gonna
Press
fail
it.
miserably.
It'd be funny.
Oh, Rambo.
Humor is funny. Am I the best trader on the planet or what?
Oh, well, this challenge was easy for me. I didn't go. Sure. So I didn't actually get to compete, but I think this was the most important challenge because it showed me how bad of a team we were. And the fact that I didn't really need to to try to throw it for us to actually loot. So I think, yeah, that became my strategy. Like, not even trying to throw.
I'm kind of the same thing, but for a different reason. This challenge showed me how important it was to keep game show in the game. Because game show is what was people like game show and demo were people who like got people off my back. People weren't coming up to me being like, oh, you seem a bit suspicious, because people were like, oh man, demo's a big meanie. Game show said random's not good at parkour. They're the traitor, and that just helped me.
Okay, well, Happy,
I
ask
wanna...
a question. Oh, Happy.
you can go.
Yeah, Happy. Was I ever tied with someone? Like, could you've chosen to knock me out at all?
Oh, in the first episode, I had the choice to go for Aiglin, Demo, Ham, or Dark Cyan.
And you
I
went for Ham?
I went for Ham because I knew he'd be someone who's actually decent at the game since he's won before. Not to
I
mention, I
chose-
knew that Aiglin was someone who was like slightly trustworthy. I knew I could probably do something with Dark Cyan.
What I had to choose between, I think, Cash and Aquatic. I think that's what my choice was. I chose Cash because, again, going from this method, I wanted my team to be able to lose lives without me needing to interfere, really. And Cash was not going to allow me to do that.
I was like, oh,
Let me
look at
just
the
say-
thing, like when the teams were formed, I was like, oh wow, I thought I was gonna have a chance. Great, I've got 7 out of 8 contestants who are gonna demolish this game. Oh yeah, okay, a lot. Okay, I'd be willing to say that at least half the time it was fake, but there were times where I genuinely failed the parkour on like accident.
Like I
Well, I
said,
guess-
you took the longest out of everyone.
The thing is,
just-
that this challenge, I knew I could probably get away with stuff because the only like Demo was there. He wasn't gonna bother caring because all Demo was like, "Oh, I gotta hit Carbs and Sean because it's fun." It didn't matter what I did because
Yeah.
if I failed, he'd probably think I was just failing because I was scared about Carbs and Sean, and it didn't matter.
Saying this part, the latter part, tripped me up so much because I actually thought the easy part was on the left and the hard part was on the right.
It wasn't easy.
Woo!
There's probably 6 minutes left by now.
I'm going on the easy side for now.
Out of how many minutes?
Me and Penguin might not even play.
I've seen this challenge.
I don't know. I just like.
I didn't really do much in this challenge special, so I was just talking about my gameplay just this once. So I thought it was game show throughout, though I did put happy second most of the time, which probably was what kept me in. I did contemplate that game show could be taking it, but I thought on the balance of probability that wasn't going to be the case, so game show tricked me.
Oh, I just remembered something. I actually knew that I was under suspicion before the challenge even started. Because
Why?
Aura, I wrote this down, Aura messaged me saying, "Hey, I think the person's Aurora's." I'm like, "Why do you think that?" It's like something that she said. So I was like, okay. And I was like, Aquatic, did Aura message you? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, what did he say? He said, it's you. So then I messaged Aurora saying, hey, Aura is saying all this. And he's like, oh, he messaged me saying you're the traitor. And I'm like, okay. So then I
Yeah.
confronted him. It was just so weird.
Yeah, like the
That's
thing
funny.
is, originally I thought the traitor was Josh. However, when you literally said stuff about you getting immunity literally at this challenge, I was like, yeah, it's you.
My strategy was to rely more on Sea Dog, better parkours, and second,
Oh yeah, see, that was you.
second,
I
I actually thought that Aura was.
Oh, you thought that Aura was the traitor?
Yeah, I actually wrote
I
down.
was trying to pin it on Aura in the beginning because he actually thought that I was the traitor.
This is
And I was like, I
this
can't have
challenge
that.
is the only challenge I wrote stuff down on, and it's because I wanted
Same.
to seem really. It's because like people were like, okay, I'm writing this down, so I was like, okay, I want to like, I don't want it to be really unrealistic. Like I can write really slowly or quickly, so it's just decided to write it all down, so it seemed like I was like doing it. But it was the only thing I've got written down is like everyone's name, how they did, and what order they were going in. My plan mostly was to be stupid and just get caught, but not make it seem like I'm trying to get caught.
I was so sad when Penguin got caught in the painting room of the tower because I was like, like 3 of the 7 paintings, you can just hide behind them.
I don't know what the challenge
Okay,
is.
I think
That's why I said find the
Oh.
I'm
O.
lagging.
I was actually robbing the stores, and I'm proud to say that I had the most points in the challenge, and in my team personally. But this store, like Eglin, comes out of nowhere and just kills me.
I was waiting for you to come out of that store.
Oh,
I'm really bad at this.
He's here somewhere, I don't know where he went.
He probably came over. I have a feeling
Got
he's
him.
coming.
Make sure you defend really well.
You
wait, Eglin.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I saw you kill Aurora's because I passed Aurora's and I was like, should I alert her? And I was like, nah, why should I?
I killed
like-
3
Because I
people,
saw
was quite
you, but
happy
you
with
didn't
that.
see me, and I saw you running into the shop.
like,
I
it
tried to lead cops to other people, but I
It wa-
continuously failed that because the moment I tried doing it with Billy, or like anyone else, they'd be like, look out, there's a cop, and it just seemed unrealistic for me to run after them.
It was that at this point where I started considering that Losey was, because he didn't really get the most, but I don't know. I put him on the 3rd, and then Penguin just why not? I don't know what.
Oh,
Because again,
I
don't
was
know.
actually trying this challenge because, like, seeing who I was up against, I was like, okay, if I actually try in this challenge and I get some good points, maybe the suspicion will be taken off my back. Clearly that wasn't the case, but that's that's what I went for.
This is another challenge where there was a tie between Billy and Emma.
Didn't Game Show think there was a secret immunity and he tried to go for that?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
This is another episode where I could use Game Show being like a tiny bit greedy to my advantage.
Wait, were you just tricking him the whole time, or was he in on it?
No,
No, I-
Game Show was just like Because whenever Game Show did something stupid, it was an excuse for like someone because someone would come to me and be like, you know, Game Show's a pretty bad guy. He's not doing very good. He's probably the traitor. And I'm like, I can.
And it
still think it's a
worked.
bit early to make assumptions, but I can definitely agree.
I know. I had showmance with Aquatic in
Oh,
hopes that if I attached myself to someone, they would trust me more. But it's actually really funny because he whispered to me, "It's either you or Josh."
Yeah.
When I had to choose in a tie, I'd always choose for the person that I thought was strong, which was Sea Dog, Cash, and Aquatic.
yeah. Whenever they went like, oh, so there goes all the big wigs. Okay.
I always
Yeah.
chose like, I chose Ham because he was strong. I chose
Yeah.
Billy because he was strong, and I chose Demo because he started to like oppose as a slight threat.
And no, not because I don't like you or anything, Game Show. I was really hoping you'd get out just to see the shock on everyone else's faces when they realized how stupid they were. I was like,
Yeah.
everyone else just sat through it, and I'm like, I'm so proud of you.
Why I kept you in. Game Show,
Yeah.
that's exactly why I kept you in. Because if I took you out, it would pretty much be everyone be like, okay,
What?
if Game Show
Yeah.
isn't the traitor, then we're all in the wrong mindset.
Which is why I did that, because no matter what, I fool everyone else to think that it's me, and they vote for me.
And,
And even though I don't get those lives at the end, they get knocked themselves out, and I make it to the final.
And you
And the
kept me-
traitor pulls me along.
Like originally, Penguin, when originally the first challenge, I thought it was Josh because he was slipping up. However, when I heard you talk about you getting immune, like when you like, oh, I immediately knew like the tone of your voice at that point. It was you. I
Wait,
didn't
when
get
I
any
what?
messages
When I did
when
what?
you like talk when you said oh me like you know as you know in a certain tone, if that makes sense.
So after this challenge, I thought there were two possibilities, and either Game Show is traitor and it's Happy or Dark Scion, or sorry, I'm being really stupid. Or Game Show is bamboozling everyone, and not knowing you guys that well, I thought it was far more likely that Game Show was actually the traitor, so that's what I went with, and well played.
Oh gosh, no.
I love this challenge.
Oh my god, this challenge is hilarious. Okay, can I go first, please?
Please do. Like, I want to
think
listen.
in total, I think I probably stole 12 buckets from our chest.
That's where the buckets went. Are you kidding?
Not to mention, but you know when like Demo saw me accidentally eat a piece of cake?
Don't fucking push it towards the cake!
I have another two cakes
She
left.
got the cake.
Are you kidding me?
Happy.
Yeah,
I saw
I
you
know.
eat-
I know. I was trying to block her.
Guys, we need more milk. Right click isn't blocking her.
Why don't we keep the
Yeah,
keep the
right
cake?
click blocks the shield.
That was
Yeah,
on
I did
purpose,
that on
wasn't
purpose.
it?
Yeah,
I knew.
that was good. Not to mention, I grabbed like every so often whenever I said like, oh okay, I'll make a cake, I'd grab like 5 buckets, and I'd throw 2 out. But then I remember at one point I made it even like better. I think I threw a bucket of milk on the other team's side so they could get it.
Oh.
Penguin, what did you do?
Oh, yeah, good
What
job.
I would
So
do
my
is,
best two are
when
on
Aurora said she needed something, I'd run over, get it, and then jump on a mine in one of the corners. So that, like on the other team's side, so that hopefully, if they were trying around there, they would find all that stuff to use. Like I died once with over a stack of wheat.
Oh, you were the one
And, like,
delivering us all of this stuff. I got that.
Like I wasn't stealing stuff out of our chests because there was only one person there at all times. So it's like I really couldn't do that. And so
My favorite part. Oh, sorry.
also being an attacker, one more thing. Also being an attacker, like we had different jobs. So my job was to go and infiltrate the other side. And so that way I could like run over, get a resource, run over into the other team, try to eat some cake, and then die with the ingredients on me, so that they'd be forced to pick them up.
I think my favorite part about this game, the entirety of the game, was what I did at the end. Because at the end, I grabbed, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get all the materials, I'm gonna make these cakes as fast as I can. And I got the materials to make 2 cakes, and I did make 2 cakes. And I put one on the table, went outside, went to the sugarcane farm and threw it out. And then the game ended.
Okay.
I think my favorite part of the challenge was just sitting by the wheat collector and watching like tons of people just walk by it and not collect the wheat, especially Happy going back and forth. Like, I don't know if you did that on purpose, but it made me so happy just like watching like 64 wheat just on the wheat thing, and like you walk by it like multiple times.
I think what just Dark said, I don't think I picked up a single piece of wheat because I think for a good half of the game I had no clue where the wheat was.
Oh lol. So I want to say one thing. I think this is the challenge that makes like I want to get and I give all credit of this to like Unique. Obviously, to be fair, I didn't do a lot of work on the challenges. Unique is a freaking boss. I'm pretty sure you made almost the entirety of this challenge, and this challenge was probably the greatest challenge of the season, in my own opinion.
It was so fun to play.
I think this challenge is the one challenge I had like the most. This is a challenge I had. I think I had the most chances to sabotage.
Did anyone notice how many deaths I racked up at all? Like,
I was not really paying attention to deaths in general.
My strategy was, okay, I'm gonna grab some buckets, put them back, and then for the rest of the game, you can just watch. I was rushing a team the whole time. Like,
rushing was actually a smart thing to do if you were a trader, because it if you look in chat, you can just see yourself constantly dying, but it looks like you're doing something.
Exactly.
And all you have to do is just run to it and get yourself killed.
I was
and
going to get...
boom, you're
There are
actually
multiple
working.
moments where I just like, I think at one point, everyone on the green team was shooting at me, and I was in the cow area. I was like, dude, what the hell? Where's the buckets? Where are the buckets? And I had a bucket in my inventory. I was like, dude, I've not got any buckets. And then I think like Game Show or something came up to me, and he's like, dude, the buckets come every couple seconds. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I died, and I'm pretty sure I died at the exact moment a bucket dropped, and no one noticed, so 2 buckets would have been spawned if someone had noticed it.
I think, I don't know, it's really difficult because, like, for all you know, like 5 more buckets spawned. There was an instance where I had 12 buckets on me, and I think I only gave Auroras the 3 that she needed to make 1 cake, and then hit the rest.
This was my favorite challenge.
This was a fun one.
I know.
Okay, let me find. So you see this cactus right here?
Yeah.
I'd say about 2 diamonds and 8 gold went into that cactus.
Oh, you jerk.
Happy, I think you did a lot more
I would have kept them in my
because
inventory.
you were not in suspicion, so you could get away with a lot more.
Yeah, I could get away with a lot more
Yeah.
because no one suspected. Because I remember right after this challenge, like I was talking to Game Show and Cyan. I knew Cyan thought Game Show was the trader, and then I didn't know who Game Show thought. But in my head, I just thought Game Show thinks Cyan. It was like, honestly, I don't like. I know I feel like I'm immune. I knew that at the next elimination. I told him like, oh man, I don't really feel safe. He's like, nah, neither do I, man. Like, I think I know who the trader is, and I think like you know who I'm thinking. And I was like, yeah, I know who you're thinking. And it's like just so surprising how no one like ever fought me. I was like I was like the random of this team.
Man, I don't think you can.
This one I tried the hardest just because I was worried that we would run out of lives and then Trader would win. So I'm like, okay, I have to get a lot of lives on this one.
One reason that I decided that to go to immunity was to secure the fact that I wasn't trader, because I knew already no one thought I was trader. But I thought that going, like, having immunity up my necklace, like, on my necklace, and then saying, oh, you know, I feel a lot more safer tonight, it just makes me feel like I'm nervous. I'm like, oh man, I'm so scared I might get eliminated next time, but luckily I found this immunity skull.
Kind of reminds me of
I think it was all along, didn't
too,
you?
where we only
I didn't know. Okay, I don't know how to get to
those
it.
immunities.
I don't know how to get to it, but I knew that like I knew there was a cactus parkour, and also you know like the puzzle, like the grave puzzle. I don't know if Penguin did this, but somewhere in my screenshots, I've got like I actually have like a screenshot of the correct answers. So
Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do
So
it.
if I wanted to cheat and get the correct answers, I could have looked in that. But I didn't do that because A, it would have taken too long and made me look suspicious, and B, because I didn't feel like it.
Skip.
I don't think there's much to say. You can't throw this kind of challenge.
Nothing happened.
No, game show. As much as this challenge is complete garbage and the worst version of the board game, I had a strategy.
What was your strategy?
Okay. I think one.
Because mine was just to go against what everyone said. Like
My strategy was to lose life. It didn't work.
My strategy was to like slow us down so much that they would get there first to their platform.
Well, it worked.
My strategy was the exact opposite.
But I think one moment, I don't understand how Agum like missed this, but at one point he got like a 4, and I was able to get Sean, and I don't think they had a protector, and I was just like being quiet. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna bring this up. I don't care. And then Agum's like, okay, well, game show, you can move forward.
I was going to say, like, okay.
I was on my starting square the entire time. I had drawn a map of beforehand. I'd drawn a map of where all of the squares were. So
oh yeah, Happy. I'm joining Happy on this.
My strategy was mostly not to listen to people because I didn't trust them.
Guys, I think this challenge is the only challenge where I didn't sabotage because there was nothing I could do.
There's really nothing you can do.
Honestly, can I tell you the thing about this challenge that I realized as soon as we were starting, and I was kind of freaking out because I didn't know how to handle it, was I had remembered watching a video about like how, you know how like you only need 22 people in the same room to have like an almost 100% chance that someone has the same birthday, and like how the more people you have, the more likely something is to happen to one of those people.
What?
And so when it was like when I was thinking about the dice rolling and stuff, I was thinking, oh, shit, since there's 4 people, there's like no way they can't land on a white space every time. And then with like even just 3 skips, you can probably get across the board like.
And that's why I hated this game so much, because the skip feature meant I wasn't going onto skulls, I couldn't get onto reds.
I loved
not a single question was asked, and so
I think what you should do is you can have.
Can the next board game just have no skips?
I like the skips, but I think like it should be like protection where you can only have it at one at a time. Oh, I like this one.
I had a strategy in this game, and I'm not. My strategy could have worked,
nice.
but Penguin didn't exist, and I think by this point,
Penguin, you were trying to win way too much. I'll be honest.
Oh no, not this one. This one I wasn't trying to win. This one I was. Well, no, in the beginning I was. But once I saw that I could have the creepers follow me at a really fast pace,
Oh,
I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have fun with this. So I ran past a giant horde of them, and I ran into Magenta's base and had myself blow up with them.
Every time you did that, I was trying to get closer to the creepers.
We don't have to worry about just don't die.
No.
You'll be fine.
Trying to kill this stupid Elder Guardian.
Mind the creepers.
Oh gosh!
You're welcome.
Just find thinking that
Show
as
with
well.
the creepers too. That was because like it would blow me up in the process.
I'd be willing to say every single one of my deaths in this game were on purpose.
Okay, good for you.
You
And yet we still got freaking only 6 lives left.
That's because the problem was that like you and Aiden compared to like what Lolzy and Josh, you guys are actually better at staying alive, and that was the problem.
Well then everyone, that is it. That is the end of All for None 5. It has been a long ride, but I really hope it's been a fun one. For me, it's been very tedious. The building was tedious, the recording went on for about 10 hours, the editing, oh don't even get me started on that. But in the end, I'd like to think it was all worth it. And I'd just like to thank you for sticking with it, if you have stuck all the way this far. On the screen, just as a last little thing, I'm going to put on some of the finalists' notes. We've got Game Show's notes on the screen. I think we've got Josh's. And my favourite, Lolzy's. So you can have a look through them if you want to at some point. Anyway, there was no co-host this episode, so I have to put an annotation thingy up there. And I think that about wraps it up. I hope to see you in one of my next game shows. I don't know which one it's going to be. It might be IGS 4. It might be AFN 6. It might be something completely different. But we'll have to see. Yeah. I think that's it. Goodbye.